French tanks are a story of bold ideas. France gave the world the classic turreted tank, built post-war heavy hitters, and later focused on speed, fire control, and smart design. This is France's evolution, on one road, always moving forward. The Schneider CA1 weighed about 13.6 tons, with roughly 400 built. It was one of France's first mass-produced tanks, thrown straight into trench warfare while tactics were still being invented in real time. The Saint-Chamond weighed around 23 tons, with about 400 built. It looked powerful, but its long hull often got hung up on rough ground. A brutal lesson that battlefield geometry can matter as much as armor. The Renault FT weighed about 6.5 tons, with over 3,000 built overall, about 2,600 of them in France. This is the tank that shaped the future. Rear engine, crew in the hull, and a fully rotating turret. The Char 2C was a land battleship, 69 tons and only 10 built. It was as much a statement of prestige as a weapon, but it was real, operational armor, not a paper dream. The Renault NC weighed about 8.5 tons with 12+ built. It was a direct evolution of the FT, aimed largely at export. France, testing what the next standard could look like. The Char D1 weighed about 14 tons, with roughly 160 built. Designed as an infantry workhorse, it proved costly and complex, showing how France was still searching for the sweet spot between quality and mass production. The AMR-33 was a light cavalry tank, about 5.5 tons with 123 built. The twist, it wasn't a classic scout, often lacking radios, but it was meant to move first and force the pace of battle. The AMC-34 was a rare branch, 12 hulls built, around 9.7 tons for the hull. It's a pure transitional machine, designs evolving faster than the Army could decide what it truly needed. The Sommois S-35 weighed about 19.5 tons, with roughly 440 built. Often seen as one of France's best early war tanks, good armor and mobility, but there wasn't enough time to scale tactics and training. The Char B1 weighed about 28 tons, and only 34 of the base B1 were built. Its signature was the mix of a hull gun plus a turret gun. Devastating on paper, but complex and demanding for the crew in real combat. The AMR-35 weighed about 6.5 tons, with 167+ built across variants. It was small, fast, cavalry-minded, but France's constant problem returned. Many versions, not enough standardization. The Char D2 weighed about 19.75 tons, with exactly 100 built. It looked like progress, but reliability issues held it back. Because in war, the winner is often the machine that simply keeps running. The Hotchkiss H-35/H-39 weighed about 11 tons, with roughly 1,200 built. It became one of France's most common light tanks. And that's exactly why captured Hotchkisses later showed up in German service in large numbers. The Renault R-35 weighed about 10.6 tons, with 1,540 built, plus roughly 145 R-40 hulls within the same production line. Slow but numerous, it was an infantry tank by philosophy, moving with the soldiers through mud and chaos. The Char B1 bis was a true heavy punch, about 28 tons and 369 built. In 1940, it could be terrifying head-on. But one great tank can't save you if command, comms, and tempo collapse around it. The FCM-36 weighed about 12.35 tons, with only 100 built. Its standout features were a diesel engine and sloped armor, surprisingly modern for the 1930s, but it was too expensive to become truly widespread. The Renault R40 was an upgraded R35. Within the same production line, about 145 hulls were made, though exact totals are debated. The key change was a new suspension, adding about 1.1 tons, but improving mobility on soft ground. The AMC-35 weighed about 14.5 tons, with at least 57 built. Designed as a cavalry fighter, It stayed rare, and rarity can be fatal. Fewer tanks, fewer parts, less experience, and the vehicle fades before it ever matures. The ARL-44 weighed about 48 tons, with 60 built. It was France's post-war bridge back into tank building. A statement that the country could once again produce heavy armor under its own flag. The AMX-13 weighed around 14 to 14.5 tons, with about 7,700 built. Its signature was the oscillating turret with an autoloader. A bold move for a light tank, and a key reason it became a global export success. The AMX-30 weighed about 36 tons, with 3,571 built. France didn't chase maximum armor. It prioritized mobility and accurate fire, betting that speed and first-shot hits could matter more than sheer thickness. The AMX-30B2 was the smarter AMX-30, improved fire control, a laser rangefinder, and it entered service in January 1982. It still looks like an AMX-30, but to the crew, it finally fights like a modern tank. The Leclerc CA1 weighed about 54.5 tons, with 134 built. This is France back in the top tier of MBTs. Autoloader, speed, electronics. It feels like a fast predator, not an armored compromise. The Leclerc CA2 rose to about 56.3 tons, with 176 built. It was refined for harsh climates and long deployments. The tank growing up. Fewer quirks, more reliability, more readiness for real-world missions. The Leclerc CA21 weighed about 57.4 tons, with 96 built. It was upgraded for modern threats, including advanced ATGMs, the era when MBTs start thinking not only about the gun, but about surviving smart weapons. The Leclerc XLR isn't a brand new tank. It's a deep Scorpion-era modernization. New comms, digital battle systems, protection updates. Reports say the first operational deliveries happened in 2023, with a goal of around 200 upgraded tanks. The Leclerc Evolution isn't just an upgrade, it's a glimpse into the future of French armored design. Unveiled at Eurosatory 2024, it showcases a modular turret, digital architecture, and readiness for next-generation munitions. It sends a clear message. France isn't just modernizing the Leclerc, it's preparing a platform built for decades ahead. The 140mm version pushes that vision even further. Linked to the Ascalon concept, it suggests a future where armor grows stronger and engagement distances expand once again. For now, it's a demonstrator, but it clearly shows that the French tank school is still searching for the next leap forward. From Schneider and Saint-Chamond to the Leclerc, France went from early assault boxes to some of Europe's most advanced MBTs. Sometimes the bet was pure boldness. Sometimes it was speed and intelligence. But the road stays the same. Forward, through every era.